Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Chris, and welcome back to the Big Brother Podcast with my good friend, Gocubs711.
There exists a device that lets you stretch back out your foreskin if you've been circumcised.
Oh, God, Gocubs. That must be the fucking grossest thing you've said on this show. God damn it, Gocubs. I'm gonna need a bucket. Um, so welcome back to the podcast. I don't even know if I want to go further. So we've been off for 2 weeks because
Oh, I
of
can tell you more.
no, please don't. I
Okay,
we've
okay,
been off for
okay.
a week or so. Because I was on vacation. Go had to move in, so we had to focus on our real
Damn.
lives. Um,
Whoa. Oh God.
oh God, that was a loud noise.
I think we're fine. The smoke alarm just went off.
Oh. Oh, I think we're fine. I'm pretty sure the building's on fire. Just keep going. Um,
No, we're fine. We're fine. Let's keep
um,
going.
before we actually begin, I would like to reiterate on here on YouTube that I am now working with Big Brother Access on Twitter. Every once in a
Yes.
while, I'll be taking over their Twitter and basically live updating the live feeds. So if anyone wants to follow them and wants to get find out what happens when it happens, please follow because it would be awesome.
I won't
Um,
be following because I don't want to get spoiled for anything.
right, yeah, like if you don't want to be spoiled, you don't have to follow it. But
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. I might write articles for them as well for their website. I'm thinking of a what if Big Brother edition type of like
Cool.
what if they voted out Vanessa instead of Shelly on this particular week, and what would have been the events that followed, and who would have ended up winning because of Vanessa being voted out. So who knows? What if Derek got nominated and got evicted? Who knows what would have happened? So
Yeah.
I would like to do that kind of analysis, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so let's
Yep.
begin with where we left off, which, believe it or not, was the last double eviction, was the last thing we covered. And we get to that head of household, and now there are 8 people left in the house. And, Go Cubs, why don't you talk about the competition? This is the emoji competition, right?
So the
Yes.
emoji competition,
Yes.
uh, this was this was something. So you had to what the contestants had to do was there was a board like of emojis, a bunch of different emojis, and this was a really simple challenge for a lot of it, but they made it seem much harder than it actually was. And you basically just Steve, I believe, read out a question, and you had to pick the emoji that matched whatever the question was.
Yeah, basically, and it was
They're
like a tournament.
buttons.
Yeah, right.
Yes, it was tournament.
It was like a tournament ladder. It was I'm not gonna remember the pairings, but it was James and
It
Meg.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, James and Meg. I think Liz and Julia faced each other at one point. I don't know if it was the first
At
round
one
or not.
point.
Um,
I think
it,
that's semifinals.
it's been so long since
Yes.
that last head of household because so much has happened. But unfortunately, there was another shift in power, and it was not
And
to the
Liz won.
favor. Yeah, it was not to the favor of most people, and Liz ended up winning the head of household, the least liked twin. Um, so
Ooh. I
Liz,
mean, it's true, but still.
it's very true, very true. Liz wins head of household, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm so happy to won," and Austin's like, "Yes, I'm so happy that you won. So now I can finger bang you." I mean, what? Um,
What?
so, anyways, we'll get to that later. Uh,
Okay.
so now Liz is one half household, and they're like contemplating this idea of getting out Vanessa, and this happens for a good like 2 weeks, and we'll get into that. Of course, a little bit later, but like they were like, "Oh yeah, we should probably get rid of Vanessa because we don't know what she's doing, and she has been running around this house like a snitch, and she's controlling everyone in the game, and she's just not a good person, whoever it is." And they nominate Becky and John. So Becky and John gets nominated basically to the wishes of Vanessa because Becky was the one that nominated Vanessa in the first place and wanted to get her out, but fucking everyone turned on that idea. Um, By the way, I should point out that the reason why this is going back a little bit because but we never talked about it. The reason why Steve nominated Jackie was because Vanessa was in his ear and actually told him that Jackie was going after him.
Yeah,
So
I fucking hate Vanessa, but she's doing such a good job.
she's doing a really, really good job, unfortunately. And my opinions have changed in the past few weeks. And again, that's something that we'll get to later. But there's been a lot that has happened since everything, and it has really changed my perspective on the season. For the maybe the worst, maybe for the better. I don't know. Um, but anyway, so Becky and John get nominated, and it kind of sucks because Becky and John are right now probably two of the most loved contestants, especially with Becky's no shits given attitude, and John just really just
He's a
kooky,
good person.
crazy, yeah, fun attitude. Um, and so they get to play in the veto. I think it was Austin, Meg, and Steve who got to compete. And it's Otev. It's fucking Otev. And we love Otev because he sings and he does weird shit.
And he's different every damn season.
He's different every damn season. This year he was like a burger, wasn't he? On the pic,
And then he was a roll.
he was a roll.
He was the rocking roll.
Oh, I fucking never got that reference.
You just
I just got that reference. Anyways,
cool.
you should take over here for the competition.
Okay, so basically what the competition was, and like most OTEV competitions, I assume I've only seen three of them. But
No, they're all the same. They're all the same.
okay, so they say they like sing a song or read a poem or I don't know something about a past house guest that's been eliminated, and what you need to do is you need to go find a piece of wood, paper, or in this case butter because he's a roll. Bring me that butter, yeah. Uh, with the name of that house guest on it, and it's basically like musical chairs. One less person gets to stay each time until one person is left.
Yeah, I really like these type of competitions because it's like, especially this. I think this was probably my favorite OTEV competition because of how, if you really looked at the art, it was like they were all ants on a picnic table. It was really fucking cool.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's just one of those competitions that it's pretty much a luck competition.
Oh, easily.
It's pretty much a luck competition, but it's still fun seeing everyone scramble to try to find the butter.
Names.
Um, so it was a lot of fun to watch, but unfortunately, Liz won that one too. So
Yep.
Liz it was dominating this week, and now she has all the power in the world to do whatever the fuck she wants.
And fuck she does.
And
I think that's I don't
the fuck she does. I don't know. I feel like this was a good move for her game to. She ends up keeping the nomination the same. I guess that this is a good move for her game because I don't know. I'm sorry. There's 9 people left. By the way, I was wrong before. There's 9 people left at this point in the game. And I feel like I guess at this point it was a good move for her game to keep Vanessa in the loop because she kind of needs the allies against Becky, John, James, and Meg, and possibly Steve turning on them as well because they don't know. So you have like 5 people over there, 4 over here with Vanessa, Liz, Julie, and Austin. Liz made the right choice in this instance to keep the nominations the same. Unfortunately, I disagree with it because I don't like Vanessa, but
right.
I have to accept the gameplay for what it is. And look, yeah, from an outside perspective, yes, I can English. That it was just a good move. So Becky and John stayed on the block, unfortunately. And then that this that that week.
You good?
Yeah, that week we got a Steve family segment as well, which is fucking awesome to watch.
Very small hometown he's from.
Yeah, I think it was this week. I don't know, but it was actually pretty. It was a really nice segment because I mean I don't know. I feel like Steve wavers between being like hated and being loved because he's so quirky and weird, but he also doesn't really play. He hasn't really played the game that hard, and plus sometimes when he says things, you're like, "What the fuck, Steve? Steve, what are you doing?" um, but Becky and John um, were the nominees, and Becky got evicted, unfortunately. So Becky was gone with a unanimous vote by Becky, basic Becky. Rip.
R.I.P. in peace.
R.I.P. in peace. Um, but she didn't leave without causing herself uh, a lot of pain. And when I say pain, I actually mean physical pain, because she ended up breaking her fucking toe during the power veto competition and left with a limp. So that was not. It was not really. Although it actually wasn't really that noticeable on the eviction night. But once she got to the jury house the following week, it was obvious, very obvious. Um, so Becky was in a pickle there. But then later that night was the head of household competition, which was one that I've never seen before, and probably one of the more interesting competitions that I don't know. I think it's definitely a very good competition. And it was the racing one when they had to see when the
Yes.
word "go" came on the screen. So Go Cubs, basically, how did they go down?
Well, so they had a bunch of screens in front of them. They were on the track. They had to keep both their front hands and their foot on buttons, and they couldn't let go of them at all prematurely. And then as soon as the screen said "go," not any other word that rhymes with "go," which I don't know how you would get fooled by like "slow" or "though" or some like really like long thing. Like "no" and "bow" I get, but fucking you got to be some kind of special stupid to get fooled by that. Uh,
I
so
love it.
as soon as go goes up, you can run and it's kind of like OTEV again, where like one person goes out each round
Yes.
until one person was left, and it got down to uh uh
James,
fuck who James
James
and
and
Austin,
Austin. Yes,
and it was close, but Austin won.
Austin won. So that made America angry.
Us
Um,
twins.
so there is a website called Joker's Updates, and it's very famous in the Big Brother community because of its character rankings, or not character but cast rankings. And it's based off of a poll that's like constantly up, like who's your favorite house guest. Austin has been on the bottom for about 20 weeks straight, or not really, or 20 days straight rather.
Okay, because this hasn't been going on
For
20
20
weeks.
weeks, like I should say like 30 or 40 days straight, I would say that Austin has been on the bottom of the Joker's rankings, below like evicted house guests like Jace and Devon and Audrey and Jason. Like he is the bottom of the bottom, and like
Awesome.
no one likes him at all. And same thing with the twins. The past few days they've been on the bottom with him. But Austin's not liked, and no one really liked when he became the head of household. But once again, because Big Brother likes doing this, they're like, man, there's gonna be hope that they may target Vanessa. No, there's not, because Austin and the twins, like, fucking wanna worship Vanessa. Um,
Yep.
and so Austin, when his head of household, is like, alright, well, Steve seems really adamant about not being on the block, but Vanessa also doesn't want to be on the block right now. But I'm thinking about maybe going after her, so maybe I'll nominate Steve with John being the initial target, and then maybe Vanessa later as the back door. So John and Steve go up on the block, and again, it's kind of one of those things where you have to kind of respect their decision, because John hasn't really been, well. I don't know. I think Austin has been playing all sides of the house. It should be noted that there's been a 5-person alliance that was made between the Oz twins and then James and Meg, and then there was a 5-person alliance that was made between the Oz twins and John and Steve, and then there was Vanessa on like the tail end of like the James and Meg final five, but Vanessa thought it was like a final six, whatever it is. I don't know, but Austin has essentially been playing all sides of the house, and
Yeah.
he was like, "All right, well, yeah, now I need to like do things, and I must break things now with people. So he chose the route of John and Steve, and immediately John and Steve were like, "Yeah, we're not just the pawns; we're probably the targets." Um,
Yep.
I
No shit.
I I don't know, man. I think that Austin's definitely a moron too, because I'll wait because that'll go in the live feed segment. So
Okay.
we get to the veto, and it's Zingbot. Zingbot is back. So I'll take this opportunity now to. I don't know if I'm gonna do with the voice, but I will take this opportunity now to in order of worst to best of the zings that happened during this
Please don't do the
competition.
voice.
I won't do the voice. That's way too
Thanks.
annoying. So
I hate it. I fucking hate Zingbot.
a lot of people like love Zingbot.
I hate Zingbot. I'm totally fine with him coming in, but that fucking voice is so irritating
it's I gotta
and
say
unnecessary.
I'm with you on that. I love Zing. I like the idea of like putting house guests in their place and like insulting them in some way. But did you have to make it a robot with the highest voice on the face of the fucking planet?
It's also all of the zines are like say something like nice or something like not really nice, but say something and then be like, "Oh wait, I thought I was talking about this person," and it's like all of them are fucking that way,
Yeah.
and the creativity just goes away.
Well, there were some good ones though. I will say this season.
There were.
So we'll start out with Steve, which is my least favorite because it really was dumb. So
Yep.
Steve, what's less cool than a trombonist who cries for his mommy? Nothing. Zing.
Yeah, that was dumb. As a trombonist.
Yeah, fellow trombonist. Oh god, I'm sorry for the computer noises.
Slander.
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 Go Cubs is personally offended by that comment. So then we get to Meg.
Nothing is cooler than a trombonist.
Very true, very true. Meg, your New York attitude is very Sex in the City. Too bad your gameplay is more sucks in the city. Zing! That's so bad. That was so
Yep.
bad. And
Yep.
people were like, wow, that's so great. No, it was sucks. It was not good.
Nope.
John, 5 out of 5 dentists agree. The only thing less attractive than your laugh is your back hair. Zing.
What?
But doesn't even make any fucking sense. It does not make a single bit of sense. And then we get, and I think the diary room with John following that was great. With he was just like, "Is this not attractive for you, Sigma?" But I don't know what exactly he said, but it was really funny. So I was glad that the John had a good response to it because otherwise that joke would have just fallen so fucking flat.
Yeah.
It was not gonna end well. Vanessa, you have been playing a masterful game, assuming that game is the crying game. Zing. That was okay.
That
Um,
one was okay.
Will someone please take out the trash? It stinks in here. Oh wait, that's just Austin. Tuna beard zing. I didn't even know that he said tuna beard.
Yeah.
It's really funny. I don't know. It was okay though. Like I was hoping they
Yeah.
would do a little bit more insulting there, but we'll have to wait till later for that one. So Liz, I'm confused. Suddenly you're less attractive, less intelligent, and less charming. Oh wait, that's just Julia.
Those are the kind of
Zing.
jokes I'm talking about.
Zing. Although that was,
Zing.
I thought that was pretty. It was not creative, but I thought I enjoyed
No,
it personally.
not creative at all.
I enjoyed it still though. All right, these were my favorite. James, guess what? I've heard Meg is going to take you someplace very, very special after the show. The friend zone. Zing. All right, so that was good, and then this one was my favorite because it was the best. It was the best.
Easily, easily.
Liz, you've become such an important part of Austin's life. Are you more excited to meet his mom, his dad, or his girlfriend? Zing! Which brings me to a very interesting segment here on the Big Brother podcast. Is this letter that I found? I'm sorry to to bring this out randomly
Oh, go
because
ahead. Go ahead.
it was I have to find it again, but it was truly I it amazed me. It was like, wow. I kind of did not want to uh I didn't think it was any. Oh no, they got rid of the fucking letter. God damn it. Never mind that.
Uh,
So there was a letter online that the sister of his quote unquote girlfriend posted, or yeah, that the sister posted, and it was a letter from to Jess from Austin, and he essentially went on a rant about how this, even though I'll be away from you, this will just make us grow stronger in the future. He went on to say how how the during the show he will give signals to her saying that everything is still okay between them. And he said how to keep on thinking of him. He'll always think of her when he wakes up and then when he goes to bed, and it was like a really romantic thing, and then meanwhile he's finger banging Liz in the household bed.
brought it full circle.
And it's like it's disgusting, honestly. And
Are they like? Did they like have like an official breakup before he went on the show? Or
no, that's the
oh,
thing. It
yeah,
was
okay,
he said that like, oh yeah, I was kind of done with her anyway, but it didn't break up. They didn't really break up. It was just a like, yeah, so I'm gonna be going on the show, and just know that I'm always gonna be thinking of you, and it wasn't really a breakup at all. This letter kind of confirmed the fact that they were essentially still in this hugely romantic relationship,
yeah.
and
What an asshole.
it really was something. I'm very sad that the picture got deleted already, but it was absolutely just so like, oh my god, I love you so much. I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss your curves, and it was just, it was so like gushy and annoying. But the
It was so
fact
Austin.
it was so Austin, but the fact that now he's in the house making love to someone else is just shows what kind of human being he is.
Yep.
So, a very bad human being. So, anyways, back to the veto competition, because I really don't. I just do not want to. I refuse to talk about Austin. Fucking hate him. Anyways, go Cubs. Go ahead and explain what the Zingbot competition was again.
Okay, so Zanebot has terrible taste in women, and
Love the opening. Keep going.
and basically all of them were robots with photoshopped different eyes, noses, and mouths of the different house guests onto the female robots' faces, and they were all fucking hideous. Uh, and they did something like this last season. I don't remember about the season before, but
It was like a circus thing last season.
yeah, uh, the and it was basically just you need to pick which three there are and hit a button, and then you get the next one. Whoever does it in the lowest amount of time wins. But the thing is that like competitions like these, unless I kind of have a problem with it, or like or at least I would do really poorly at them, is the people's noses.
Yeah.
Because unless they have something like really like obvious, like Jeff, for example, I have
Yeah.
no idea who the hell's nose it could be.
Yeah, I had no
Like,
idea.
it's nose idea. No, that was dumb. I'm gonna stop. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah.
like it's dumb. I don't know. I don't like these challenges very much.
I think the nose ones are probably the worst ones to try to figure out. Like
Yeah.
how the hell are you supposed to know noses? And
Also, I like that specifically for James they put Pitch's eyes.
right, right. I love it. So it was really it was a very not really intense competition because you knew what times they had, and that's kind of what the disappointing part about this competition was for me, other than who
Yeah,
won, was because like they.
that's the one.
Well, hold on, I'm getting there.
Vanessa won.
Okay, fine. So what was disappointing is that like when they did like the superhero comic one, it was like all times were completely just that no one knew about them, and they all
Yeah, and
come together.
they do some competitions like that, and
Yeah,
some like this one, and this one's sucky.
yeah,
So
and in this one they were just kind of like, yeah, you're just gonna know the time, and then you just get to beat it. Because I feel like then it just gives the person the opportunity to just be like, okay, this is the time I have to beat. All right, let me like. I feel like it just gives them more of a rush when they just take their time with it. They don't actually know what time they're actually trying to get to. So I don't know.
right,
I don't like the ones that they know what the time is going into the competition. So yes, so Vanessa won, of course. So that completely rules out any chance of a backdoor, even though it was never going to happen anyway. Flashback to 5 minutes before the POV competition on the live feeds. Um, so we got Austin decides to bring Liz into the what is it, they call it the hammock room because there used to be a hammock in it, but then they got rid of it. Um, and
which room is that?
that's it's like the one that's right between like the bathroom and the dining room.
Okay.
You know what I'm
And
talking about?
also, what is that little room? That like little opening in that room? There's
Uh
like small, tiny ass closet.
oh no, that's the I think that's the photo booth.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I have to look at it again. But
Okay, because I've been wondering that for a while because it just seems like really out of place.
yeah, I think what you're referring to is the photo booth because they do it every once in a while and then they post the photos on cbs.com/Big Brother.
Cool.
Um, so I
Don't you fucking plug in this show.
yeah. I would never do that. By the way, check me out BigBrotherAccess.com. Anyways, so um, so Austin and Liz they get together, and Austin. This is something that they don't show in the show, of course, because Big Brother,
Why? Why
Big
would
Brother,
they?
Big Brother just they can't because they would hurt their reputation. Austin decided to whisper in Liz's ear and tell her that because of a session that he had in the diary room, that he believes now that everything that people said that Vanessa lied about was actually the people lying about, and Vanessa is completely trustworthy.
What?
They completely trust Vanessa now. Yeah.
What?
Yep.
How does I don't that doesn't make any
Yes.
sense.
It doesn't. No. But they completely trust Vanessa now.
Cool.
100%. Perfect, right? So
All right, well, Vanessa's winning the game. Congratulations, you made the right choice.
right. So Vanessa is now completely trustworthy to Austin and Liz. So even if Austin won the power veto, or like John and Steve won the power veto, who knows? Vanessa would probably not be the replacement nominee.
Did
Um,
did
so
did we ever say that Becky went home?
yes, we did.
Okay.
Yeah, just I know we've been kind of skimming through everything,
Yeah, I know.
because
But
it's hard. We've been trying so hard to kind of keep track with everything, but there's so much. Um,
all right, well, in case we didn't say it, Becky went home
yeah,
the first ever
Becky
cover.
Becky went home. I mean, I guess that was obvious once we said that John was nominated this week. So,
I guess, but still.
uh, um, so yeah, now Vanessa goes on her little hunt to see what she can do to twist this game up, and so essentially, she goes to John and is like, "So you're my enemy. You want to work with me?" And John's like, Sure. I guess I don't really have a choice." And John's just like, "Well, at this point." Like in the diary room, he's just like, "Well, at this point, I gotta do what I have to do to stay in the competition. So if that means making a deal with the devil, I guess that's what I gotta do," which I can't
Yeah.
blame him for. So Vanessa's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna try to get to save you," and so that leads into a whole mess of things that happen. And she tries to convince Liz and Julia. That does not end up working out well. And like John even reveals to her the alliance that they had with that he had with Oz Twins and Steve to try to get Vanessa out. And Liz and Vanessa ended up confronting Liz about it. Liz was just like, "Oh my god, it's all Steve's fault." Fuck, no, it wasn't. And so Vanessa confronts Steve about it. Steve doesn't know what he's there's no idea what she's talking about, but he's choking on his words and can't really defend himself. And Vanessa's just like, "Well, you lost my vote, so okay." And Vanessa was essentially trying to push the target onto Steve and not John, but and try to get John off the block, but it didn't end up working out because Liz and Julia fucking hate John with a burning fucking passion for whatever reason. I mean, I guess it's because of him throwing them under the bus, but it's like they have this personal hatred with him, and it's like John has never been
like Steve towards Becky.
Yeah, and it's like John has not even really been mean to you at all. He's just he has to play his game, and Vanessa's the one with the power of veto. So fucking, he's just, I don't know. I feel like that, and like Liz and Julia end up like talking about how he's like a pipsqueak, and he's an asshole. He's like a dick, and he's such a horrible person, and yada yada yada. I have a lot that I have to say about those twins. Fucking, So, anyways, Vanessa decides not to use the veto, and John and Steve remain on the block, which is probably the worst case scenario for our entire season because John and Steve were our favorites by far. Well, and James, but
James, yeah, I still like James.
Yeah, I still like James too. That's true. So we get to eviction night. We get like a James family profile type thing, which was not really family, but his bar buddies. And we find out that James was a cat lover. And then I was like, my mom was very anti-hunting, and she likes James, but she doesn't like the whole hunting thing. And once it was pointed out that he was like a cat lover, and like since we were big cat lovers as well, she was just like, "Oh, okay, that's great." And then it got to the part where James was like, "Yeah, I taught my cat to swim. I just threw him in the river." And then my mom just looked at me. I was just like, well, we tried." So, James was the family profile was nice, but I felt like the friend that he had, like the friend that was a girl. I feel like there was this underground feeling that she was jealous of the fact that he liked Meg. I felt this vibe from her that she was just kind of like, yeah, there's no way that Meg would be into him. And like, deep down, I was just kind of like, does she like him? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
So we get to the actual eviction, and unfortunately, we lose Johnny Mac. And he got evicted. I gotta say, I mean, I know, of course, we can't really say yet. John could be coming back, but it's kind of amazing how this is the one guy that we completely 180'd on, like 100%.
Right, I know.
Like, we were always kind of creeped out about Austin. We always kind of hated Liz. And Vanessa, we liked, but like we didn't know how hard she would play. But we really hated John in the preseason.
Because, yeah, all we knew was his interview. We just thought he was going to be loud and annoying, and he was very loud, but not really annoying.
Yeah, and he was a nice guy at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed John, and I was very confused, though, during his eviction interview that he'd said that he would go after Meg if he got a chance to come back to the house. After everything that happened, I was very confused about that. And, like, I mean, again, I just think it's either Vanessa working her magic on him.
Yeah, it's probably that.
Or fucking, I don't know. It literally makes no sense whatsoever. So, I love John, but I'm really hoping that he did not come back into that game. Because I don't want him to go after Meg. I feel like that would just be a very dumb head of household for him to do. Alright, well, we talked for the live feed updates, we talked about stuff. Oh yeah, I should point out that the like I said, the juror competition is happening with the head of household competition, so we'll be predicting both of those when that comes around. Um so we talked about the live feed updates, we talked about fingering
Okay.
multiple times. I think it's just really fucking funny. I obviously I don't want to go into detail about it, but
That actually happened though.
it actually did happen, or at least it definitely seemed like that. It seemed way too obvious to actually not be that.
Cool.
And it was to me it's just really funny because it's just after all the oh my god, I don't like Austin, but I'm gonna fake it, and then Austin's just like, I have a girlfriend at home, so I don't know how far I'd really go with this, and then yeah, so
And then
and then the Austin had
cheers.
had
I'm not going to continue that
fun.
sentence. Never mind.
Austin had fun. Oh my god. Okay, so there's a point like a little bit after they might have done stuff. And Austin was hanging out in the bathroom, and he was looking at his finger, and he goes, "Man, I think I banged this on something." And it was just the dumbest fucking thing on the face.
What?
Do you get it?
Yes.
Okay. He said that. He was like, oh man, I think I banged my finger on something.
Oh, you did, all right.
Oh my god, it was great. That was personally one of my favorite, like following the Big Brother updates on Twitter. That was personally one of my favorite things to find on Twitter by far. God. I gotta say, in my mini rant that I wanted to do real quick before we get to the predictions, my perspective on this season has basically changed completely in that we kind of went into this competition with favorites, and I know that we have a tendency to do that a lot.
Oh, hell yeah, we do.
Everyone who pretty much watches the show for the most part always is like, yeah, I want to root for this person, I want to root for this person, and all that. But sometimes you gotta appreciate the show without having a favorite and just watch the game play out. Especially if you're someone that watches the live feeds, who watches it as much as they can. Try not to have a favorite and try to see how the gameplay goes by itself. And I will say this, looking at it from an outside perspective, not looking at anyone for favorites, I don't mind Vanessa's game as much as I did. And I think that I'd rather see her win than Austin, Liz, and Julia. And
That is true.
I feel like Austin, the whole reason why he wanted to be on the show was because he wanted to get famous, and literally the entire time that he was head of household on the live feeds, he was just like, yeah, I just want my 10 seconds of fame here, and I want to really just the whole thing for him was not, I'm going to make good moves this week. It was, I want to entertain people this week. That was not, he was not trying to play the game. His and Julia are the bitchiest fucking people on the face of the planet. Maybe that's me from a, like, oh, I have favorites, so I don't like Liz and Julia, but just looking at it from an outside perspective, and me wanting to like Julia, and me never really loving Liz either, they are both bitchy ass motherfuckers, and
They're the same person.
They're the same person deep down, and they were talking like the other day about how Meg was like this. Oh my god, Meg is such a two-faced bitch, and she talks shit about everyone, and meanwhile they're doing the same fucking thing that they're accusing Meg of, and it's I just really,
women, am I right?
Yeah, oh god fucking damn it, go Cubs. Don't make the audience angry.
I'm
Uh
kidding. I'm kidding.
but I gotta say, I don't from an outside perspective, seeing that Austin, Liz, and Julia have been controlling the game for a while now, and Austin is the only person to never be on the block, I would say that I would not want to see them win, but I would not mind seeing Vanessa win at this point because now of the fact that a lot of people have been throwing her name out as a potential target, and that she's now that she hasn't really played a clean game and people are coming after her. If she somehow makes it to the end at this point and wins it, I wouldn't mind that because people were actually trying to get her out, especially how close she got during Becky's week of head of household, but
Yeah.
how she came out of that. So, Vanessa's still not the person I would really want to win, but she has played harder than anyone else has really played.
I would rather her win than
Than,
us twins.
than the Oz twins. Yeah, I 100% agree. So I'm hoping if the season's gonna go in a really crappy direction and have those four being power for the rest of the season, I'd rather Vanessa pull out a massive win against all of them, and
Yeah.
it'll be quite a thing to remember. It'll be fun.
What I would rather happen is James, Meg, and Steve get together.
Right, and then go after them. Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Maybe whoever comes back.
Yeah, that is true. But that.
I actually know who comes back, but I'm not spoiling it.
Oh, you do know? Oh, yeah.
I do know. Because I actually have not watched Thursday's episode.
Ah, okay.
So I just looked up who got eliminated, and then I saw what happened, and yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So let's talk about our predictions. I've got to find them again because I remember typing them to you.
Yes.
All right. So my predictions right now is that Jackie is gonna win or get the buyback. And she's also going to win Head of Household. And she is going to nominate Liz. And she's going to nominate Vanessa. Vanessa, however, is going to win Power Veto yet again. Liz and Julia end up going up. And Liz ends up getting evicted. So, what about you, Gocubs?
All right. Well, I said John would return and get the HOH.
And get the Head of Household, okay.
He nominated James and Meg because, yeah.
Okay.
Meg actually somehow fucking wins the veto.
Alright, great.
Vanessa's put up in her place, and Vanessa leaves. I'm so fucking hopeful, but
Vanessa goes up and out. Alright, well, so that's how it all goes down. That's how, thus far, that's how our predictions have been going. I gotta say, we're over halfway through the competition, and neither of us have had to change our winners. So that's pretty good.
that's scary.
It is scary, but it's actually pretty cool, though.
Yeah. What if they end up being the final two somehow?
Oh, we're gonna fight to the death. No, well, honestly, if it was Vanessa and James as the final two, I would root for James, though.
Yeah.
So that to be honest. But yeah, it's been what a wild ride this season has been, and a double eviction is going to be happening next week. I forgot to point that out.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
Shit.
So, but unfortunately, I will not be able to watch it live. Neither will you, probably.
No, I'll never be able to watch any Big Brothers live because we don't have cable yet.
Rip. So that's pretty much it from here, and I mean. A lot of people are giving up on the season, and I understand why. I understand, but this was by far, though, a more entertaining season than last season has been, and you never know what could happen. The power has shifted before. There's no doubt in my mind that it could definitely shift again. So I'm not giving up on the season just yet. And there's also.
I'm still gonna watch it, but I've pretty much given up.
Yeah.
Unless something like really insane happens soon.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be on my good seasons list.
that is very true though. Yeah, I think that I think I enjoyed Big Brother 15 a lot more. Um. Uh. Than I forgot what I was gonna say.
Okay.
I think I enjoyed Big Brother 15 a lot more than this season thus far because of how chaotic and how horrible, even though the how horrible uh the
It was
people were,
awful.
um the it was still very much entertaining. And I think that I really want this season to be my favorite season that I've ever seen. But if the power stays the same, I'm not gonna like that.
Right.
um, but anyways, well, thank you guys so much for watching. Uh, and we'll see you guys hopefully next week for another episode.
Mars.
Oh, okay. That's Gocub's tidbit that he has to add. All right. Well, bye bye everyone.
My armpits are sweaty.
Okay.